But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the battles. We have our blue player, ODM ChosenOne, representing the Czech Republic here. He is going to have the Lizardmen, and I didn't update this faction card, so 1 second, let me do that as my daughter screams in the background. Oh, she is so mad that I'm not hanging out with her. And I feel bad. All right, so here we are, back to the battle, now that I've updated the scoreboard. ChosenOne going to have 3 Sword Spears, the Cohort of Sotek, a 4th Sword Spear being the Legion of Shakwa ROR. We're also going to be seeing some Skink Cohort with Javelins. Now, for the Air Skirmishing Force, we have Pterodon Riders, 2 on either flank by the looks of it, and very common pick against Bretonnia. They're pretty much the main way to counter Peasant Bowmen if you get those rock drops off. Now, for the monsters and leadership, we do see 2 Bastillodons with solar engines. And then we're going to be coming over here to look at Mazda Mundi on top of this ancient Stegodon Slack. Going to have Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, as well as Apotheosis, Harmonic Convergence, Net of a Mintok, and then we have that Sunburst Standard Hex Waddle, and the Greater Arcane Conduit. Time to see what the Bretonians have brought for us. In red, led by Felkon, playing under Calradian the Flame right now. You're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Peasant Mob up front. Then we're going to have a total of what appears to be, 7 or 8? Yeah, I see 7 Peasant Bowmen. Going to have regular ones up front by the looks of it. And then it seems we'll have 3 Pox Arrows behind those 4 regular archers. In the back line, we have Questing Knights, Knights of the Realm, Questing Knights, and that was a big line. That's don't know why I did that. Anyways, Knights of the Realm, so 2 and 2. We have a Field Trebuchet in the back for that artillery support to pressure the Lizardmen from far away. And then for the heroes, we have a Damsel of Life down on the ground on foot. She's going to be bringing Earthblood. And then we have a Paladin with Guardian and King Lewin Leoncoeur. He's going to have the Lion Shield, the Sword of Corone, Stand Your Ground, and Foe Seeker. All right. He does, Lord Mazda Mundi did bring Roiling Skies, which debuffs speed and defense for flying units whenever he's casting. And we'll see what he decides to do here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Net of a Mintok pretty soon here, maybe on top of King Lewin. Because if he can get Lewin routing early in the game, we have to remember that Lewin routing early in the game means he loses his regeneration for the rest of the game. He's a regenerating lord, but as soon as he routes, he loses that regeneration potential. So, very curious to see what the Lizardmen do here. I know both of these players are good enough to be aware of that. And Felkon just going in here right after the Pterodon Riders. But here comes that net I was talking about. And now 2 solar engines should be able to get some shots off. All of the Pterodon Riders are firing away. Legion of Shakwa popping that missile resistance as they are getting pin-cushioned by the Peasant Bowmen. And both solar engines just need to be shooting Lewin right now. Ouch. So, ChosenOne getting some good early damage against the Bretonians. But right now, the Legion of Shakwa soaking up a lot of missile fire. But I guess, honestly, that's missile fire they want to soak up because that's kind of their purpose. They're shielded, they have good armor, and they had that 44% missile resistance for a while there, which is their ROR ability. Lewin continuing to get pumped full of solar engine lasers. And now the Lizardmen kind of pushing up piecemeal with their infantry. Don't like to see that too much. These Sword Spears are going to be opened up for a lot of Peasant Bowman fire as they are getting shot in their unshielded right flank. And, you know, Questing Knights are going to do much better against isolated Lizardmen infantry than they will if they're all staying, you know, in a cohesive formation. Over here, solar engines continuing to target Lewin. But he's healthy. Yeah, he does. That's a very good point, Guac and everybody. Thank you for pointing out the Lion Shield, which I completely forgot, does give him missile resistance and magic resistance, 44% each. So that's a very good point. Very effective at countering solar engines when it is active. Banishment coming in, going on top of Peasant Bowman. And it's going to smash one unit, and it looks like it's actually going towards another unit. Oh, running away just in the nick of time. But still going to deal out about half health damage to one of those Peasant Bowmen, so possibly worth it. Not the best banishment I've ever seen, but definitely not the worst. Over here, Pterodon Riders. There goes a rock drop on top of these Peasant Bowmen, doing a lot of damage, and now they're just charging in to rout them afterwards. Questing Knights are nearby to support, though, so got to be careful there. Mazdamundi diving into combat, causing some terror routes. Solar Engines just kind of sitting in the back line, doing their thing. Lewin Leonker diving in against Mazdamundi. Questing Knights, or Knights of the Realm, are now coming in to support. And that's going to make it very hard for Mazdamundi to escape. And we're also going to be seeing a Paladin diving in here, along with an upgraded Earthblood to help heal up the leadership and cavalry units for the Bretonnians. Now, we do see Sora Spears diving into combat here under this dome of protection, but Mazdamundi is getting filled full of rocks. Balance of power not looking very good for him right now. The Bretonnians look like they're in a very strong position. And, you know, I think Felkon baiting not only the player, but also me as the caster there with Lewin Leonker there earlier, just absorbing so much attention of the Lizardman player that, you know, the rest of his army was kind of being neglected and sent in piecemeal against this Bretonnian force. And now we're seeing it just getting torn apart by arrows and now cavalry charges. Oh, Mazdamundi going in for a big hit against Lewin, though. Look at Lewin. Not feeling the best. Apotheosis is on top of Mazdamundi. Earthblood and Lion Shield, Stand Your Ground, and Foeseeker are all on top of Lewin, though. Sword of Corone also been popped, making the defense and armor of Mazdamundi drop significantly. Peasant Bowmen doing a good job kind of repositioning themselves and keeping the pressure on top of the Lizardman player. But Mazdamundi still has a ton of HP, 4,300. Don't be deceived. He's half health, but half health on an Ancient Stegodon isn't the normal half health you're used to. And, I don't know. I mean, can ODM ChosenOne pull this off? King Lewin Leonker, you guys have to remember, is at his healing cap. So every piece of damage he takes from now on, he will keep in perpetuity. And I don't know. If they can take care of Lewin Leonker, then I think they can take care of the rest of this army. But that's a big if, and there's a lot of variables on the field to be decided. However, Solar Engine's still healthy on their ammunition, so they will be able to continue firing away for a significant period of time. Peasant Bowman still very healthy on ammunition. No surprise there. Felkon being very good about his fire discipline. Doesn't want to waste ammunition in a match this important where every last arrow counts. And the Solar Engine's just really focusing on the Questing Knights and getting some great damage done. Out of all the cavalry that's been brought into the field, only one of them is still above half health. Paladin and Lewin both diving into Mazdamundi right now. Questing Knights have dived into combat too. And look at this. Shielded the Old Ones, Harmonic Convergence are popped on top of Mazdamundi. But he is losing combat decisively. The Solar Engines are in melee combat. There's some Sora Spears supporting, but they're very tattered. And now Mazdamundi is losing a ton of HP. And looks like he may be on his way to a terror route. Going to be seeing the Pterodon Riders coming in. I'm not sure what their plan is. But, oh, there they go for a rear charge into Lewin and the Paladin. But the arrows are just overwhelming the Lizardman player right now. Like, there's nothing Mazdamundi can do. Like, even if they get Lewin, you know, to rout right now, the arrows are going to kill everything. And it's going to be a GG as we see just thousands of arrows pouring into the dinosaurs. Yeah, exactly. Human Hero countered this play very well. I honestly think, too, like, I mean, I understand, like, if you could successfully route Lewin, you can stop his healing. That's great. But it's hard to get him to route just up in the air when you're shooting him with 2 solar engines. And I almost wish he would have hit the Paladin. I think if he would have netted the Paladin, focused it with all the Pterodons and the solar engines, the Paladin's HP pool is way less than Karl's, and his leadership is lower. He's on a Pegasus instead of a Hippogriff. So this is a unit I think would have been more realistic for the Lizardmen to have a chance of eliminating in the early game. But instead, King Lewin Leonker acted as just a huge sponge and absorbed so much damage from this entire Lizardman army, and was able to stay on top in the end, and with his mobility advantage, just, you know, stay out of harm's way, always escape combat when things were going sour, and clean victory to Felkon. So let's update that scoreboard, giving him a quick 1-0 lead. Yeah, Ungor Raiders a key unit in this matchup, if you can protect them. Now let's start with our red player this time. XMT Felkon. 5 Ungor Raiders up front, people. Then we're going to have 5 Ungor Spearmen. Herd. Looks like they're going to have shields. Yeah, across the board. Now, for the mobility, there's no shortage of it. It looks like we're going to be seeing 4 Centaurs, and then a Chaos Warhound with Poison, single unit of Harpies, and then, oh no, the Butchers of Kalkengard. There they are. Enjoying their ability to hide in the forest now. For the Beastman leadership, let's go find them and figure out what the plan is. It looks like we're going to have 2 Brave Shamans of Wild. One is going to have Traderkin, one is going to have Vile Tide and Bestial Surge. We also have Morgor the Shadow Gave. He's going to be bringing both of his Chaos Spawn summons, and that will be it for the Beastmen. An interesting army, to say the least, and let's see how it does. Over here for the Wood Elves, we're going to be getting some juicy action very quickly. They have a unit over here, vanguarded, that I cannot seem to see. Aha, the La Sylvan Knights. We're also going to be seeing a front line of 4 Dryad. We have Wild Riders with shields, and the ROR Wild Hunters of Kurnos, and 2 Glade Riders with spears. Now, for the leadership, we have Ariel, Causing Terror, Berry Wine, Acorn of the Oak of Ancients, Apotheosis, Arcane Conduit, the usual loadout. She's also going to have Dryka with the summon, and none of her spells. So just bringing the summon on top of Dryka for those 2 Dryads. Now, we should be getting into the action very quickly. Centaur's coming in for a charge against all of the Dryads who are charging into the Spearmen. Butchers of Kalkengard also coming out, and you're going to see a very big amount of damage done on that charge from the Centaurs. But an Awakening to the Wood here, slowing down these Centaurs as they try to retreat, so they're going to take a fair bit of damage over here. Vile Tide. Oh! Vile Tide destroying so many Wild Riders right there. That was disgusting to behold. Okay, Wild Hunters of Kurnos are starting to melt some Beastman units. The Lost Sylvan Knights have gotten on top of the Ungor Raiders, terror routing one of them. Beastmen are now chasing after the Lost Sylvan Knights with the Butchers of Kalkengard and 2 Centaurs. Don't think the Lost Sylvan Knights will be able to stay ahead of them, as a couple of their models are getting tangled up. Looks like about, half of their models are getting tangled up in the Centaurs now, so not going to be good for the Wood Elves if they can't keep them healthy. But over here, it looks like the Wood Elves have successfully plowed through the Beastmen left flank, then are now regrouping with the Lost Sylvan Knights. We have Wild Hunters of Kurnos, we have the Wild Riders with shields, and a bunch of Dryads all diving in to support the Lost Sylvan Knights. And Aerial is over here too. Vile Tide going down though, doing a lot of damage. Gotta love to see that spell usage. Beastmen have the balance of power pretty squarely in their favor at this point, but I worry that a lot of their units are just going to be super susceptible to terror routes as the battle progresses. Lost Sylvan Knights have the Berry Wine, bringing them right back up to like 99% health. They've only lost one model so far. That Berry Wine absolutely doing beastly amounts of heals. And now in come the Wild Riders into combat as well against all of these Centaurs. Centaurs only a matter of time before they rout, I think, but a lot of the Lost Sylvan Knights are just tied up in weird engagements across the field, and there goes another Vile Tide. Terror kicking in on top of the the Centaurs. But will the Wood Elves be able to do it right now? A lot of their cav, a lot of their infantry is just in shambles. And the Beastmen still have the Butchers of Kalkengard, 12 models, regenerating. And they're just sending everything they have against the Lost Sylvan Knights now. Harpies tangled up with them, Centaurs. But will the leadership hold? That is the question. Chaos Bond coming in here to support, but it looks like they're about ready to time out. Acorn of the Oak of Ancients going down, doing some good damage to the Ungor Spear Herd. We're going to see both of the Bray Shamans are now routing, guys. Morgor still looking healthy, alive and well. Lost Sylvan Knights losing decisively, though. They are getting dragged down hardcore. And over here, though, a big break. Like I say, both spell casters for the Beastmen are routing. Morgor is fighting with Dryka. Glade Riders with spears getting intercepted by some Ungor Spearman herd. But over here, I mean, I don't know. The Beastmen looking stronger and stronger in spite of some of these nice pickups by the Wood Elves. I mean, Aerial, though, just, will she be able to keep it together? Does she have Soul Stealer? And of course she does. Why is that a question? That could potentially turn this around. A big fat Soul Stealer on top of a juicy blob of Beastmen forces may be the difference. And here it comes. Aerial got plenty of units in that Soul Stealer. Should give her quite a bit of HP back. And the Butchers of Kalkengard are the only ones still standing in that blob engagement now. Oh, Chaos Bond coming here from Morgor the Shadowgave. Ace in the hole, saving these guys for the late game. Really going to help shore up his lead in the balance of power. But yeah, elves across the field just looking tattered and scattered. Tattered and scattered. Dryka now getting surrounded and smashed down by Morgor and the Chaos Spawn. And with that, the Wood Elf chances look like they are disappearing. Also, another question. Why did the Lost Sylvan Knights fall on the ground like actual corpses? Aren't they ghost? CA. Figured it out. Anywho, looks like Aerial is the only one left. And look at how much the balance of power gives to her. Still a good quarter of the balance of power. But, I don't know. Beastmen looking across the battlefield. The Butchers of Kalkengard. 11 models, guys. So they've lost one model. They can heal so much. We have the Ungor Raiders here. To help shoot down Aerial. Aerial is attacking these units. She has to stay in combat now. She cannot chase shattered units or anything like that, or routing units, and it looks like she is fulfilling the rule by just proceeding to chase down these Beastmen forces. Ungor Raiders opening fire. Butchers of Kalkengard diving in and knocking her out, knocking her on her ass. She knocked one of the butchers back on its ass too. Already she's done a good bit of damage to him, but she's also taken some serious damage in turn. Morgor the Shadow Gave coming in to help out, and it does look like Ariel is going to be down on her last leg, but here comes a Soul Stealer. Damn you, Ariel. Both Ungor Raiders now shooting Ariel in the back. Probably doing some friendly fire, but the Butchers of Kalkengard luckily have silver shields to block a lot of that fire. Bray Shaman are coming into the fight now too. And there she goes. The Beastman victory. XMT Felkon defeating ODM ChosenOne in a 2-0 fashion. And Felkon's heading to the final. So we're looking here at the bracket. See Felkon's waiting up in the top. And down here we have Abeknir waiting for the winner of Alfredino and Evenstar. So let's go see if we can catch some of that match and take it from there. But I mean, it's not a bad Wood Elf army, not a bad Beastman army. And at the end of the day, I just think Felkon really out-microed his opponent with the Centaur play. So it was a great game to both players, but Beastmen just seemed like they kind of had the momentum there from the first moment of the game and just kept on capitalizing as it went on.